For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record.
Okay guys, today it's all about leaving the weight in the right spot. So I'm starting with the 1.5 on my Ostervolt, the #1 machine in my kit, second to the fast feed of course, and I'm knocking down some of that bulk so I can see what I'm doing when I go in to put in my skin line. I got the fade scale up here for a minute and I want you guys to check it out because I'm going to be jumping around a little bit. The whole point of this is so that I can keep some of the hair dark above the parietal ridge, and I'm trying to get the blend accomplished below that. You see me coming up doing some clipper over comb. I'm simply using the 1 1/2 because the 1 1/2 accompanied with the thickness of the comb, it's going to lead me right into the area I need to be, and all I need to do is tip that comb out towards me. It's called rolling the comb, and again we're holding the comb properly in our thumb so that we can get that good rotation on that comb. We don't want to be holding the comb like this because we're not going to get any rotation whatsoever. Anyways, I'm coming up, and as I begin cutting, I begin moving and cutting at the same time. You can do what you got to do to get in there, but this doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just trying to rough out the area that I was in. And again, it's imperative that we keep this area above the parietal ridge dark. Find the parietal ridge simply by placing a comb flat on the side of your head like this, and you can see right where the comb leaves the scalp, that would be the parietal ridge. So fades that are below that are going to be considered low, on that are going to be considered mid, and above that are going to be considered high. So simply trying to get the dark area smoothed out right now, and you're going to see me have a little bit of fight with this left side of his head because this grain's coming down on an angle, swooping in. So you're going to see me fight with that side a little bit, and it's imperative that you try to go against the grain and use each guard for what it's worth and hold it flat. Again, flat is not with the clipper blade like this or like this. It's simply, even if the blade has a bend in it, you're touching down right where you're supposed to, and that's going to help you to maintain that length set by the manufacturer. So going through, putting the skin line in, I got my 5.0 on my Ostervolt, the workhorse, putting in work, chewing through this hair, nothing to it. And we talked about how to speed up your fades a little bit on the last 2 videos. I'm going to do a whole separate video on all the things you can do to make your fade go faster. But of course, this machine is certainly going to help because you're not using your trimmers and it's not taking you 15 minutes to skin it. Second machine you see me using right now, I'm using the Bronze Series 9, the best machine in the game right now for skinning. It is fast, it is smooth, it is comfortable, and for people with sensitive skin, it is second to none. So anytime I have a big area that I need to knock down quick, I want to grab that Bronze Series 9 and knock that down. However, you'll notice around the ears, I don't have much room. Bronze Series 9, not so good there. So I'll switch over to my wall finale, and I can just go ahead and I can detail that, get that right into that skin line. Okay, so this is a keynote here. Do not run your electric shaver into that 5.0 line you just made. You want to stop just below it and begin reducing tension, and you want to have that blend perfect from 5.0s to skin. So skin, obviously where you use your electric shaver, going up to the 5.0 line, you need to make sure that that transition is smooth and perfect, and this is going to help you with your fades. We build on a strong foundation and we don't jump to the next step until the first step is done. Now I'm going to begin this fade with my Wall 5-star Senior, and I have the half guard on there and I have it in the closed position. I now find that it's actually easier for most clippers to cut in the closed position. The cutting blades are closer together, and simply putting the half guard on there is only really going to be about the exact same thing as it would be if I had no guard on there with the lever open. So I find this to be a little bit easier and more helpful, so I decided to put in my first guideline with this, and I'm trying to compress this fade. I don't want this fade to be too much higher than where I'm at. I want to see this transition right on where I put that 5.0 line. So I need to concentrate, and this is why I use the guideline method, because once I set this guideline, I know I'm working in between it. If I find myself working above it, then obviously this whole fade is going to have to come up, and I don't want that to happen. So that's why I set this guideline, and then I'm going to go through and I'm going to remove the line from my 5.0. Okay, so just got my guideline. I want to make sure it's fairly even around the whole head. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. We're going to blend this whole thing in. So don't be so hard on yourself and think that you need to have the most perfect, straightest guidelines in the world and that that's going to be the greatest thing. That's not even true, all right? Even if your 5-0 line isn't perfect, it doesn't matter. We're going to fix it right here, right now. So I'm going to begin with the open taper now on the same machine, and I'm going to go through and see if I can even pick anything up. All I'm doing is I'm running over that 5-0 line and I'm watching what effect it has. If I notice that it's not removing what I want it to remove, I need to move that lever down just a tiny bit, go up, see what effect that has on it. If that's starting to transition pretty good, I'm going to stay a little bit lower. I'm going to close my guard a little bit more, closing my lever a little bit more, and I'm working my way down. And I'm staying lower and lower each time I do it. This is kind of key because each time you do this, you're going to wind up being able to stay right where you want to stay and know right where you're going to work. So you know you're not going above that line, and all you're doing is you're slowly closing the lever, and each time you do, you are one step lower. I close the lever, I'm one step lower. When I close the lever, I work one step lower. And of course, attempt to keep it on an angle. The more that you keep this clipper on an angle, the better you're going to have a chance of not making another line. So on these in-between steps, if you can keep the clipper on an angle, try to reduce the amount of time that you're actually taking it up perfectly straight, and continue to try to go against the grain or use just one corner of the blade. You're going to find that all this works out a whole lot easier for you. So again, I'm working it on my angles, I'm moving it back and forth, I'm trying to come against the grain, and it's very important that you use this blade for all it's worth. Don't jump to this next step. That's something that's going to set you back. That's going to have you chasing shadows, doing too much cleanup work, and doing a lot of mistakes. It's very easy to know where you're at right now, right? We know that we're supposed to be working in between here and here. And if we find ourselves working elsewhere, we're going to set ourselves up for failure. So don't do that. Stay working on this area. Make your guard changes when only you're done with your previous step. And if need be, you go back a step before you go forward. Remember, we talked about that. That's the two-step method. One step forward, two steps back. Two steps forward, one step back. One or the other. You'll understand what I mean here in a second. So again, I'm just finishing the blend on this left side, and you notice that his grain is swooping down on me. So you see me using my corner, attempting to keep it flat. And like I said, I want this fade compressed in this area. I want it to be sort of steep, and I really need to make it so that I'm not making any mistakes, because I will not accomplish the steep fade. If I make a mistake, this fade will be stretched, and then the whole purpose of what I was trying to accomplish here will be for nothing. So once I got this all figured out, I got this all nice and clean. I'm working that corner. I'm making sure that I've done everything I can do with this blade before I move on. Now, if you have to, when you're done with this step and you see that there's still a little line between where you put your electric shaver and your trimmer, well, guess what? You're going back to your trimmer. If you can't get out with your trimmer, well, guess what? You're going 2 steps back and you're going back to your electric shaver. Do not move up the head until you're done with that. So, all right, at this point, it just got real because I switched to my fast feed. My fast feeds are the fade killers. So the first thing I did was I put on my 0 guard on my fast feed, and I'm moving it up with the guard open in the open position, and I am going to change this to 100%. So I'm moving the guard up in the open position, and I'm keeping it on an angle, and you can see that this fast feed is a beast. And right where this is lining up, this fade is compressing just right. And I don't want you to worry too much about some of the little light spots that you'll see in his hair. His hair is really curly, and when that hair curls, you can see some of the scalp sometimes. So you're just gonna have to comb it in different directions and see how it lays. So right now, I wanna keep this fade nice and low, but I need it to be smooth. So I'm starting off with it open. And again, the same thing that I just did previously. It's open, I'm working up here, right? As soon as I close it just a little bit, I'm working 1 level lower. I close it a little bit, I'm working another level lower, until I have it all the way closed. And guess what? If there's still some kind of line there before you move on, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna take off that guard, you're gonna go back to the open taper. If for some reason there's still a line there, you're gonna close that open taper a little bit if you have to. If you gotta go back 2 steps, you go back 2 steps. But do not go forward until you got that finished. So, again, the fast feeds are a beast. They're beasting through the hair. The fade is getting done nice. The skin part was already knocked out by the wall seniors, so that was pretty cool. And the way that these guards are lining up and working together is just really seamless. It's not necessary for you to have both. One or the other machine is fantastic, and both of them will produce a great result. I just love my fast feeds. So anyways, speaking of the fast feeds, I'm trying to give these things away, but if you notice, I don't have a whole lot of people on this sheet. I counted, and there's exactly 20 people on this sheet. So out of those 20 people, someone's gonna win these fast feeds. And I'm okay with that if nobody else gets in. Better odds for these guys, and good luck to them. However, if you're watching this video, it's not too late. I plan to do the drawing on Tuesday. All you need to do is simply hit me up on Instagram. I got my Instagram right here on this video. Go ahead and hit me up. And of course, that's a great place to hit me up because I can actually respond to DMs, questions, issues, or concerns. That's the best way to get a hold of me. It's not really easy for me to get a hold of you through the YouTube infrastructure. So anyways, anything that you need, please feel free to contact me. And secondly, for the contest, you already know what you have to do if you watched. You got to tag me watching you do some kind of hair. I just want to see that you're actively involved in pursuing the career in barbering. And if you are, I'm going to put you in. So I just want to see you tag me on a clip, a video, a picture, whatever. And I just want to see that you're working towards it. As soon as I see that tag, I put you in. You also got to leave a comment on my YouTube, and you got to let me know who you are on Instagram so that I can make the connection. So far, that's all the people I've been able to make it for. If you haven't been told you're in, you're not in. And I will tell you you're in as soon as you are. So if I haven't got to you yet, I apologize. I've been trying to keep up with it the best that I can. Back to this fade. So anyways, I'm taking the number 2 now. Notice that I skipped the 1. I'm trying to preserve that dark area in his hair, okay? I don't want to stretch this fade out too much. So I'm jumping to the 2, and I want to see what effect that has on it. Can I get it smooth with that 2? No. So I jumped back to the 1. I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to be really careful about how high I go with this number 1. I'm just cleaning it up, knocking out some of them dark spots, and I'm making that transition be the way I want it to be. And it's just like this all the time. It's kind of like you want to try it, you know, and when you try these kind of things, you want to be careful, okay? If you're not sure what this guard's going to do, we'll take a step higher and see what that guard does. If you're not sure, always caution yourself by giving yourself that extra chance to make a mistake. So if you think, oh, that line will disappear if I take the half out and I go at it with the half, well, why don't you just take the 1 and see if that has any effect? Because a lot of times we're looking down here at the line, and really the answer is the area above it has the issue. And sometimes when you clean that area above it, you wind up taking care of it. And you see me throw a little bit of hairspray on his front hairline. I do that, I want it to dry so that when I go through and I do his edge up, all that hair stays still and I can edge that up perfectly. You see me going through with the scissors and I'm just shaping it out. He didn't want me to take too much of his hair off top. He just wanted me to shape it up a little bit, and he plans to wear it with the twisty sponge, and you're gonna see here, I'm gonna twist it up in a little bit here. But all I'm doing is I'm just shaping it, and I'm looking at it from all different angles and evening it out just a little bit, trying to get all them crazy ones out of there. But like I said, he's gonna wear it curly, and if you don't have this absolutely perfect, it's okay, because it's gonna be accomplished by styling it. So as long as you got that fade on point, the edge on point, and you got this thing pretty nice and shaped up, when he's done and he styles this up, he's gonna love it. It's gonna look great. So we're just going through with the scissor technique. Now with the scissors, you notice that I'm not using the tip of the scissors to do this trimming. I'm using the inside of the shear. So if you use the inside of the shear, it's a lot less likely that you're gonna cut a divot into somebody's hair. So use the inside of the shear, opening and closing, and get it just shaped up just right. And then we're gonna move on to the edge up once you have that part done. But like I said, curly hair is crazy. So if you go through and you continue to comb it, you're gonna keep seeing little hairs pop up, and it's gonna drive you crazy. All right, there is no way that you're gonna get every one of those curly hairs absolutely perfect. So don't drive yourself crazy and don't even bother with that. Get it shaped up nice and good. It all depends on how he styles it in the end. And if he's planning on styling it with the curls, it's not gonna be a problem. So we're gonna begin this edge up in the center. This kid's got great hair. I love working with this hair. So I'm just gonna begin it in the center because there is no real problem. Like, he doesn't have a low side and a high side. Of course, I would tell you to always start on the low side. You don't wanna start on somebody's high side because all you're gonna do when you get to the low side is have to make it higher. So we don't wanna make that mistake. So I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna edge this guy up, I'm gonna style him up, and that's gonna be it. So from like here on, I'm gonna let you guys rock the music, and I'm gonna put a new video up real soon. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Any questions, issues, or concerns, hit me up on the IG, or please leave a comment. Give a little thumbs up if you like what you've seen, and stay tuned because we're gonna be crushing the game. I'm gonna keep putting out videos. I've been really grinding hard. So I appreciate you all. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I'll see you in my next video. Peace.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, for the record, for the record, for the record, for the record. Been a little too nice to y'all. Now I gotta up price for y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. A6 all the hate. I won't get a ball today. Got lost in the ball and A's. I'm flipping the bars, I'm flipping the on record, off record. I still count wins when they got it. On record, off record. I let them take advantage. I was wildin'. On record, off record deals. Tell them talk to Colin for the quote. On record, off record. I still want the act, not the ghost. For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, for the record. Price for y'all, snake eyes on dice for y'all, shoulders on ice for y'all. A6 all the hate, I won't get a ball today. Got lost in the ball and A's. I'm flipping the bars, I'm flipping the on record, off record. I still count wins when they die.